Representatives of the 6 countries along the Mekong River have agreed to co-exploit the river's resources, building an Asia of a shared destiny. The commitment comes at the inaugural Lantang Mekong Cooperation meeting here in China. But there are profound concerns that climate change is already leading to fundamental problems in the lower Mekong basin. Also worrying is that resolving those problems could be in the hands of politicians who deny that climate change is even taking place, as our correspondent Tony Chang reports from Vietnam.
A deep red sun rises over the Mekong Delta as early morning boat traffic shuttles between the riverbanks. It's an image that's changed little over time. But this is an area undergoing profound change. According to a recent Standard & Poor's assessment, Vietnam is the second most vulnerable country in the world to economic and environmental damage from climate change. That's not news to Mr. Len, a 63-year-old farmer in the Mekong Delta. He showed me how his crops had withered in the drought with a lack of fresh water from the river. And the intrusion of salt water into local canals means he may not see a harvest all year, a situation that's becoming increasingly common with rising sea levels.
From now on, we expect difficult situations like this will happen again. From what we have seen, the fresh water from upstream is pushed back as sea level rises and comes inland more and more, and we can do nothing.
Many people are blaming the El Niño weather pattern for this drought, which caused much less rain to fall in this region than it would normally expect. But there are more disturbing patterns emerging, most notably climate change, which is increasing temperatures and raising sea levels all across this region. And that may mean that the seawater that's been able to infiltrate so far inland into these creeks, rivers and canals is here to stay. Data collected across the delta shows that while this year may be unusual, the underlying factors of rising temperatures and sea levels mean that the basic ecosystem of the Mekong has already changed irreversibly.
The impact of climate change to the river is very clear. All the figures we collected over several years reflect that temperature and the climate have unusual changes that profoundly affect the lives of the farmers and their ability to produce.
But further research may be held up if funding from the US is halted, as it could well be. Currently, all 3 potential Republican presidential candidates deny the possibility of climate change. If elected, there's a good chance the research projects into the effects of global warming will be shut down. While global agreements to slow carbon emissions and the output of greenhouse gases are in place, action has been slow, and it may be too little, too late. But others think those affected should be doing more to help themselves. Along the Mekong, rice producers have been pressured to produce more harvests, but that in turn is producing huge amounts of greenhouse gas.
The rice farmer also polluting with a lot of greenhouse gases, like for example the nitrous oxide and nitric oxide gas, which evolved from the rice field by the wrong fertilizer application.
It may look as if the Mekong Delta is a picture postcard image of rural life, but the drought has shown the dangerous changes to the environment here, and it may be too late to turn the clock back. Tony Chang, CCTV, Vietnam.